The moment systems fail, it never feels like a dramatic collapse. It feels like confusion. Lights flicker once, then hold. Water pressure drops slightly, almost unnoticeable. Mobile signals lag by seconds, then minutes. In that quiet, ordinary-looking instability, most people make their first and most dangerous mistake. They assume there is still time. But modern infrastructure is not designed for slow failure. It is designed for efficiency, and efficiency creates fragility. When one system breaks, others follow in tight, invisible chains. The danger is not the blackout itself. The danger is the gap between perception and reality, where people continue behaving normally while critical support systems are already degrading beyond recovery. Preparedness, in this context, is often misunderstood as stockpiling or reacting to extreme scenarios. But the science of resilience begins much earlier, at the level of everyday behavior. Small, repeated actions shape how quickly a person adapts when conditions change. The human brain is optimized for routine stability, not abrupt disruption. When routines collapse, cognitive load increases sharply, decision-making slows, and errors multiply. This is why the first layer of survival is not equipment. It is habit. Habits reduce the need for conscious processing, allowing faster adaptation under stress. Yet most people build habits that assume uninterrupted access to electricity, clean water, and instant communication. One of the simplest everyday actions, maintaining a constant awareness of resource flow, directly challenges this assumption. In normal life, water flows endlessly from taps, electricity powers devices without thought, and food appears as needed. This creates what engineers call invisible dependency, where critical systems are used without understanding their limits. The misunderstanding is subtle but dangerous. People believe availability equals permanence. In reality, every system has a threshold beyond which it fails rapidly. Water distribution networks, for example, rely on pressure balance. A single disruption can introduce contamination within hours, not days. The hidden science here lies in how quickly biological and chemical processes exploit system instability. Bacteria multiply exponentially, and without proper pressure. Even minor leaks can draw contaminants inward rather than pushing water outward. Evidence from real-world infrastructure failures shows that water safety often deteriorates long before official warnings are issued. By the time authorities confirm contamination, exposure may already have occurred. The survival implication is clear. Preparedness begins with treating everyday access as conditional, not guaranteed. People who routinely monitor their consumption, store small reserves, and understand basic purification methods are not reacting to disaster. They're already operating with a more accurate model of reality. This creates a buffer, not just in resources, but in mindset. When disruption occurs, they are not adjusting from zero. They are continuing an existing pattern. This leads to the second overlooked behavior, maintaining energy independence at a micro level. The danger here is not just loss of electricity, but the cascading failure of everything tied to it. Communication, refrigeration, financial systems, and even transportation rely on continuous power. The analysis reveals a critical flaw in how people interpret backup systems. Many assume that large-scale solutions, generators, grid redundancy, will stabilize the situation, but these systems are prioritized for critical infrastructure, not individuals. The misunderstanding is believing that restoration timelines apply equally to everyone. In reality, recovery is uneven and delayed, often leaving residential areas without support for extended periods. The hidden science of energy systems shows that even short outages can create long-term consequences. Refrigerated food enters a temperature danger zone within hours, increasing bacterial growth. Electronic devices lose charge, cutting off access to information. Battery degradation accelerates under irregular charging patterns. Evidence from emergency management studies indicates that households with small, decentralized energy backups, such as portable battery systems or solar charging, maintain functionality significantly longer than those relying solely on grid restoration. The implication is not to replace the grid, but to reduce total dependence on it. Preparedness, therefore, is not about extreme scenarios, but about reducing reliance on single points of failure. Everyday actions like keeping devices charged, rotating backup batteries, and understanding power consumption patterns create resilience that scales during emergencies. As conditions worsen, these small advantages compound. While others are searching for solutions, those already practicing energy awareness are conserving, adapting, and maintaining critical functions. The third behavior emerges from a less obvious threat: information collapse. In modern environments, people rely heavily on real-time updates to guide decisions. Navigation apps determine routes, news feeds shape perception, and digital communication replaces direct observation. The danger is that when these systems fail or become unreliable, individuals lose situational awareness. The analysis shows that information systems are not just tools, they are filters. They simplify complexity, but also remove the need for independent judgment. When the filter disappears, people are left without the skills to interpret raw conditions. The misunderstanding is assuming that more information equals better decisions. In reality, delayed or incorrect information can be more harmful than no information at all. The hidden science lies in cognitive overload and confirmation bias. Under stress, the brain seeks familiar patterns and may ignore contradictory signals. Evidence from crisis psychology demonstrates that individuals often follow outdated instructions even when conditions have changed, simply because those instructions were received earlier. This creates dangerous delays in response. Survival implications point toward rebuilding direct observation skills as part of everyday life. Noticing environmental cues, understanding local geography, and maintaining offline knowledge systems are not outdated practices. They are critical redundancies. When digital systems fail, those who can interpret their surroundings maintain an operational advantage. This advantage grows as disruption extends, creating a widening gap between those who adapt and those who wait for external guidance. As these behaviors intersect, resource awareness, energy independence, and information resilience, they form a network of preparedness that operates continuously, not just during emergencies. The escalation is subtle but powerful. Each habit reduces uncertainty, increases response speed, and lowers dependence on fragile systems. What begins as minor adjustments in daily life becomes a structured approach to survival under stress. But preparedness does not stop at managing resources or information. The next layer moves deeper into biological limits and human performance under pressure, where even well-prepared individuals can fail if they misunderstand how the body reacts to prolonged uncertainty and scarcity.